What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another round table here. Spoob, Moist Potato, and Shiu Ming are joining us today as we go over our balance change wish list. What we're going to pretty much do on this video is we are going to each choose 3 minis or heroes that we want to see buffed. What is going to be the pretty much our wish list for the minis and heroes in this video. All right, so first off, I'm going to be starting it off right here. I'm going to be coming out with the Pekka. Unfortunately for me right now, I think the Pekka just does not have enough HP to survive in the front lines. I'm going to have to give it +1 HP here. It still only has a small amount per upgrade comparatively to the Mega Knight, so it still isn't going to be that super big tank, but I feel like it just dies before it can really do anything in a Clash Mini round, and that's why I'm going to give the Pekka +1 HP.
Using the Pekka at 4 elixir, it gives her a chance to really just deal damage. The second star doesn't really help her out so much with the block, so I would change her for the second star ability to remove crowd control for the first 5 seconds of battle. That would have her still dealing damage, but uninterrupted.
So I definitely like the idea of, instead of nerfing certain minis, buffing the other ones so that they're all kind of like the same playing field. So I wanted to buff the Skeleton Guard. I haven't seen much of him a lot, so I think getting his energy to 3 instead of 4, but having his shield gain +5 instead of +6, I think will just balance him out better so he gets his shield more in battle.
So I want to nerf the Archer for obvious reasons. I want to change her first star ability so that she shoots 2 arrows every 3rd attack, sort of like the Magic Archer's second star, because with that, you can still apply the pressure, you can still make the enemies think about the placements, because it does affect it, especially with something like the Barbarian Super. But it does apply less pressure than it does now. It isn't that much of a stress, so she can't be that carry mini for 2 elixir.
Alright, then next up, I'm going to have to go with the Witch. Now, after the Witch got the range nerf, it kind of just has been underwhelming. She just has to step up too close. The Mega Knight either just knocks her down with the stuns. She just gets too close to the combat here, and I feel that it just needs a little bit more power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it back +1 range. It's not a super big buff to the Witch, but it definitely will help it be able to be a little bit more oppressive and be able to get down the skeletons a little bit faster. And once the front line does get eliminated from your opponent, you will be able to hopefully be able to chip down their backline by only having to step up 1 or 2 tiles instead of right now where it just feels like the Witch is just on the move and you just don't really get too much value if they only have 1 or 2 tanks.
My second change would be on Mega Knights. Mega Knight is pretty much a better shield maiden, but you're able to upgrade into different paths. The main thing that makes him very strong is going to be his range, right? His range on his second star. I would say reduce the tiles, I would say, by 1, and keep everything else the same. You know, it would bring Archer Queen a little bit more back into the meta. We can see things such as Dark Goblin, starting to be repositioned, not just inside the back line, but inside the second line. It will make a lot of impact.
So I think the Prince is pretty okay for balance, but I definitely think the Pony deserves a little bit more love. I miss seeing the Pony, and especially to incentivize that 4 elixir upgrade to get the Pony. I think the stun and attack speeds are fine, but maybe just adding a +1 HP going from 5 to 6 will make it more worth the upgrade.
So my next mini is the Barbarian King. So I think his level 8 ability duration should add 50% instead of double, because currently a level 7 to level 8 matchup is a big difference for the Barbarian King. I know that because I have a level 6 one. And now with that level 8 ability, it just feels like it drags on for too long and it gives too much value. And my second change would be that, so I think the Barbarian King super effect should be gone when he dies. I think I've heard this somewhere and I really agree with it. I don't think the Barbarian King super should not leave a lasting effect, so there should be like incentive to keep the Barbarian King alive for longer. Because now, currently, people just throw the Barbarian King as a tank with nothing else, and it just dies, but it doesn't matter because the buff duration of the minis is so long.
Last up, I'm going to have to go with the Healing Ranger. Right now, I just feel like the Healing Ranger is going to take over the meta because the highlights of this balance change is going to be the Barbarian, is going to be the Archer. You've seen them take over the last two metas, and I feel like there has to be some sort of change so that they get nerfed down. And when they get nerfed down, the Healing Ranger and the Dark Goblins of the Worlds are really going to just ascend to absolute every deck. I wouldn't say every deck, but, you know, that's why we're going to need to nerf it down a little bit. So, for that fact alone, the Healing Ranger is going to need to get a little nerf here on the 3rd star ability. Instead of 40% speed for each and every single mini that the spear goes through, I'm only going to give it a 30% boost. And I might also have it, I'm not 100% sure yet, but might also have it so that it doesn't boost itself or half effect on itself, so it'd only be a 15% boost on itself.
All right, so the 3rd mini I would change, and I really want to bring it back into the meta, or at least see a little bit of play, will be on the Valkyrie. If y'all have been playing Clash Mini for a little bit now, Season 2 had the best iteration of Valkyrie. I gotta say, revert the change on the 3rd star to have a clash effect, to really have the Valkyrie start ramping, because that's her entire kit, is just dealing damage, approaching, then healing. I feel like there's a lot of counters to her.
Like I said in Enchatin's previous roundtable video, nice plug there, the Lumberjack, I think, is a good support unit, but for 3 elixir, he should provide more for himself. My idea from that last video was him drinking his own rage potion before throwing it out to another nearby unit, just so that every time he got a super, he would be raged up as well. I think would be a good change.
Alright, so my last hero is the Shield Maiden. Her current level 8 ability is just like useless, like basically the most useless hero ability. So I think they should rework that so that when she kills a mini with her super, basically the super timer resets, so it gives the Shield Maiden a possibility of like basically recharging her super over and over again, and it gives her a bit more of that carry potential that a hero typically needs.
Okay.
You know, I really like that ability, Shui. That's a good rework. And also in chat, I got to say that Healing Ranger nerf, I think, is perfect, and I feel like it's healthy, because that first,
I agree,
because like that first shot that it's going to do, it's going to start, it's a snowball from there, because the Healing Ranger is going to start getting the buff, everything else it targets going to get the buff, but I feel like that second charge should not be as fast. It should be at that same speed. So I got to give you a lot of props to that, Enchatin.
Thank you,
oh my God, Spoob, your changes are great. Oh, thanks, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God, everyone.
Hey, he's trying to change the 2nd star for the Pekka to be CC.
Man, I just want Pekka to start getting used. You know, she's a damage dealer.
I actually think for I think he needs a little more health than just +1. I think he should definitely have him split the difference with the Mega Knight. I don't think he should have near as much or more than the Mega Knight, but a little more of a tank. I agree.
To be honest, Spoob, I kind of like the current 2nd star ability for the Pekka. I think it's like the most useless ability for the Pekka, the block. Like, I think your idea is great, but I think it should be changed with like the 3rd star, like that, like completely useless and dependent of RNG.
Where not only is the Pekka blocked, but the allies near it are blocked as well.
I find that very interesting because, you know, again, you're spending 4 elixir, right? Like, if you look at Mega Knight's kit, you know, the value of that 4 elixir cost is so much more insane than just, oh, I'm gonna double the chance.
Believe it or not, she does the most damage in the game, and paired with a Healing Ranger speed up, you're really gonna see her shine if somebody can pull that off with a Shield Maiden deck. But the biggest thing, actually, I should have also changed this. The biggest thing about a Shield Maiden that needs to change is when she puts up her shield, the maximum amount of damage she can take should only be 9. no matter what. It should be 9 damage max so that a monk can't just go up and palm it in the face, because A, you're taunting a monk to you, so you die. Like, that's also a huge problem.
It's still that cloudy with the chance of
She would
meatballs.
just go suicide.
Yeah, that's the biggest, one of the biggest problems that I have with Clash Mini right now is that interaction, and it doesn't happen right now because nobody plays the Shield Maiden. But I can guarantee you, once people actually play the Shield Maiden once or twice, you know, after she gets a little bit of buff, rework, whatever it is, you're just 100% going to lose every time to a monk, and that's not going to be fun. You know what I mean? Like, your whole entire deck is going to revolve around Shield Maiden tanking, because that's what a Shield Maiden is. Yeah. Like, I'm okay with it getting stunned. I'm okay with the monk somehow even taking off the shield. But I'm not okay with the monk doing 30 damage to a Shield Maiden.
At level 10, literally 30 health. Oh, bye-bye. Goodbye. And that monk is still on the board, still dealing damage. So her entire kit is just... That's why she's one of the worst, unfortunately.
And I really hope they give you 4 or 5 abilities per hero that you can unlock and that you choose to. So, like, you can play a Barbarian King, but you know this guy is an Archer Queen player. An Archer Queen counters Barbarian King right now. But there's an ability that you can get for your Barbarian King that can make it more of a 50-50 versus an Archer Queen. You know this guy might play Archer Queen, so you're going to put this in your ability. So, yeah, you'd still get shafted by a monk, let's just say, or whatever, because you anticipate an Archer Queen, but at least it gives you that option in competitive play. Yeah. Obviously, ladder is going to be a regardless, but like in competitive play, you need to have a way to counter, you know, other heroes, because then you can have banned heroes and you know what I mean. Then it becomes a mind game, and coaching statistics. What does this guy like to play? Like, that could change. Like, Clash Mini has the potential like no other game in the competitive scene if they are able to pull that off, in my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching this roundtable episode. Thank you so much for Spoob, Moist Potato, and Shui Ming for being a part of this episode of the Roundtable. Balance changes wishlist in the comments below. Let us know. Roast us if you want. What do you think is going to be the best change that we put? What do you think is just not good and just bad? And what do you think should be implemented inside of Clash Mini? But thank you guys so much for watching this YouTube video. I love each and every single one of you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.